Hello and welcome. My name is Portia, and in today's class we're going to be finding balanced strength around all of the joints while lengthening those tight areas of the body, specifically in and around the front of the hips and the back of the upper legs, as well as the shoulders and the chest area. You'll need some space to move around, and we will be on the floor, so if you'd like to bring a mat to have underneath your knees and hands, please have that out and we can begin on that. You can be barefoot as I am. You can wear socks with grips or wear a lightweight shoe that allows your foot to move freely. Go ahead and find your space in the middle of your area, bringing your feet directly underneath your hips. Feel the energy from the bottoms of your feet pull up into your lower belly and soften the knees. With your hands at your belly, feel the belly fill up with a breath in and feel it release and pull back to lengthen your low back as you exhale. Full breath in and full breath out. You can keep your hands here for just another few breaths, just to feel that movement underneath your hands. The expansion and contraction. Now release the arms to the sides, straighten the legs and lift your shoulders up, and then let them come down with the exhale as you soften the knees. We'll do a few more of these. This will help to release the stickiness that's always there in the shoulder blades as they ride and glide along your rib cage. I know for myself, I feel that little snap, crackle, pop. It's perfectly normal. It's where most of us carry tension. We also carry tension and tightness in our lower body through the hips and the pelvis. We'll definitely be working on opening those areas today. One more time. Keep your knees nice and soft and circle the shoulders up, back, and down. This is like a rinse for that space between where the shoulder blade rides and glides on your rib cage. And it helps to iron out some of the stickiness again. And now just take little arm swings forward and back. This will start to lubricate the spine and it will help us to find upright posture and a simple movement through the entire body, just like we would in walking if we were walking at a faster pace. Yet now we're just using the movements to help open and release the spine. Start to lift one heel. This also challenges the balance because it brings our eye gaze from one side to the other. Now let's move slower. And feel the pressure into the ball of the foot as you lift the heel. This is also a stretch. As we lift the heel, push down through the ball of the foot and feel that stretch from the base of the ball of your foot, that's the metatarsals, all the way to the heel of your foot. Even in shoes, you can feel this. One more set to each side. Come back to center and reach the hands in front of your chest and take a side bend to the right with your left arm reaching over. Feel this stretch all the way from the armpit down the side of the ribs and into the hip. Anchor down through your left foot and heel and the pinky edge and feel this opening. Release and take the hands back up. And then take the right hand over and stretch to the left. And you might find that on one side you sort of do this little shift over. We're looking to stay right in the center and then let this bend happen right kind of where your ribs end and come into the side of your trunk. With this reach, now we feel that anchoring down through our right side as we feel the stretch through the rib cage. You'll notice here I have my opposite hand along the ribs. When we side bend, we can also fill up and expand one side of the rib cage a little bit more. Let's switch sides again. Feeling this side again. Let the arm open and come forward. And then release. And now switch to the left. Open. And then come to a stand. Alternate your heel lifts again, focusing on pushing down through the ball of your foot as you bring the knee forward. Again, going for the stretch in our foundation, our feet. Here we can also find good upright standing posture. All of these points that I just pointed to, the earlobes, the shoulders, ribs, hips, side of the knee, and even the side of the ankle, are all points that we want to line up. This is going to help us with the balance portion. The next time your right heel lifts, lift up and shift the weight all the way over to your left foot. Find your balance there with the right toes hovering over the floor, and then reach your left arm skyward. From here, we're going to take that little side bend over towards the right, and then circle the arm in front and lower your right heel down. Lift the left, shift the weight, hover the left toes over the floor, lift your right arm and side bend over to the left, and then return. Let's see if we can make this a fluid movement, reaching up and sending the arm to the side, and then down, and then reaching over and lifting the other heel, and down. One more to each side. I like this because it's a stretch as well as a balance. And now roll the shoulders again. With the knees soft and your low back long, give a little look over your right shoulder, feeling the stretch through the left side of the neck. Look back to the front. Gently look over to the left and feeling that stretch along the right side of the neck. And then release. Bring your arms front and center, but low on the ribs. Not chest height or shoulder height, but I would call this low chest. I'll turn to the side. We're going to warm up the shoulder blade again, just a little bit more to prepare us to come to the floor. Reach the arms forward, pulling the shoulder blades apart, and then pull the shoulder blades back together again. Separate and reach forward, keeping your arms straight, and then pull back. You'll notice I'm not moving the head. I'm only letting the shoulder blades separate and then pull back together. I'm going to turn around to the back and so you can see my shoulders as they reach forward and pull back. And I'll continue my circle around as you continue, the arm reaches forward and back. As the arms reach forward and the shoulder blades separate, we call this protraction. It's creating space between the shoulder blades, and then pull them back together. That's retraction. 3 more times. And 1 more. And then release the arms down. Give them a little shake and just a little bounce. This will help to just awaken your entire system. And now we move into our first sequence. Holding the weight predominantly on your left side, lift your right heel and then tap the toe forward and bring the foot back. Same thing. Tap and then forward. We're trying to stay as upright as possible. One more time. Now, if you're feeling like you go way over to the side, just lift the heel and then reach the foot forward with the whole foot down. That will be your option. Let's try this on the left. Now we bring the weight into the right foot, lift the heel and point forward and then back. It's like you're taking a step, but then you decide not to. Feel the weight shift slightly more to the right. This is the last time. Now let's go for a swing of the arms. Your right foot taps forward and back. And now left forward with the right arm swing and back. This is going to be more balance. It's also a stretch of a kind, opposite arm and leg. We'll be doing this on the floor a little bit later. One more set to each side. Feel the stretch and then release. Stretch and balance. Now tap to each side. Let's do 4 times on the right, taking the arms out to the side. I have to shift my weight a little bit over towards this opposite leg. Last time. Arms to side, try with the left leg. Now, if you don't want to take the toes out, you can lift the heel only. 2 more. Now, taking the hands to your hips, this will help you kind of figure out what the hips are doing without actually having to look in the mirror. Soften the knees a bit, lift your right heel, and slide the leg back. This is hip extension, and this should feel a little bit like a stretch. We want to keep the low back long, and then bring the foot back. Let's try again. Heel up, and slide the toes back. Come back in 2 more times. That's it, 1 more time. And now we move on to the left. Heel up first, and then slide back. On this side, let's try the swing of the arms. 2 more. Now that we've gone forward, side, and back, let's put it together as a sequence. We'll tap forward, right leg forward, side back, and then left the same thing. Let's use both arms moving in the direction of the legs, except when we go to the side. And the arms will come out to the side. Looks like this. Forward, side, and back. Left. And back. Back to the right. Forward. The arms might make it more challenging, left, or it could help a little bit with at least the direction of where the leg is going. You're following with the arms. Let's do 1 more set. Here we go. Now let's add a knee lift to each section, forward, side, back. So it tap out, knee lift, tap, and back in. Side, knee lift, and back in. Going back, bend your knee. So that's your knee lift to the back. It's only a bend of the knee with the hip in extension. Let's try that on the left. Side. And back. Bend the knee. Oh, feel the back of the upper leg really working. It's so important. We're going to keep alternating side to side, and I'll keep talking. It is so important to work on this balance and work on this range of motion in your body for everyday activities that you do each and every day. left, side, and back. And return and release to the center. Taking your feet out nice and wide, starting with an arm circle on the right. Bring the arm forward. Watch the arm go to the side and open. 3 more times. What I love about this move is the openness through the shoulder and even across the chest. 2 more. And now left, 4 times. Big arm circle. This is a great place to notice. Does this side feel a little different? It just might, and that's okay. Now alternate right and left. Right and left. 2 more sets, right and left. Now we'll make it reciprocal, meaning we're going to start the motion with one and then continue with the other. You can add the eye gaze. This will add a little additional challenge. Move slow enough that you don't get dizzy. Or you can even keep the eyes straight ahead. Just feel that reciprocal action, almost like you're swimming through water. It's a windmill of the arms, forward, up, out, and back. 2 more sets, right, left, and 1 more time, right, left. Go to the right again and bend your right knee. Circle that left arm, and then come forward. And now left arm, bend the knee, circle your right. We'll get the pattern down in just a moment. Go to the right again and bend and circle the left. Now, as you do this, you're probably going to feel in the straight leg a little stretch here in the inner thigh. That's exactly where we want it to go. 1 more time like this. And left. Going to the right, we're going to stay a little extra longer so we can get some more stretching for the front of the hip. Circle. Now pivot and lift your left heel. As you do, bend your left knee and hug in the side of your hips. This is a balance. We have a split stance, and as we descend down with your left knee, circle the arms left and right. This is adding more challenge to the balance, but also as the left arm lifts, it's a stretch for the front of the hip. Do you feel that? 1 more time. And then as we bring the left arm up, pivot back around, and let's try the same thing on the left side. Circle and lunge. Oh, let's use the left arm first. Sorry about that. There we go. And now pivot, bringing your right heel up. Bend the knee and lower. Feel that balance challenge. To keep yourself centered and feel the stretches. Each time the right arm lifts, you feel the stretch in the front of the hip. Because we're in a split stance, this is also a challenge for the entire body. Open and return. Let's try pivoting to the right again. Descend, feel the stretch, and pivot back. And go to the left. And back. And again, right. Make sure that you hug in your hips from the sides. This will help you bring the midline focus to your body. 1 more to each side. The The windmill opens the chest, and this lunge in the split stance challenges our balance and opens the hips. Pivot back to your right. Hinge forward with a straight spine and lower your left knee to the floor. Come down all the way to all fours, bringing your knees under the hips and your hands under the shoulders. In this position, keep your spine long and straight and push evenly through each hand and each top of the foot. Begin by sitting back and coming forward. This is a stretch for your hips, the tops of the feet, your wrists, and the shoulders. Keep the chest lifted, elbows straight, and feel this flexion. This is flexion of the shoulders and the hips. As we move forward, it's extension of the shoulders and the hips. Feel that stretch forward and back as you glide the muscles and joints in this forward back motion. 2 more times. As you come forward, bring your back hand, whatever hand that is, forward and extend the front leg with the toes tucked under. Now you're in an opposite arm and leg reach. Send the weight back into that front heel so you feel a stretch in your calves, and hover the opposite arm up with the thumb to the ceiling. From here, lift the leg up, toes point down, and pull the heel upward towards your butt and back. Hold on to that balance. Tap the hand down and the foot down, and then bring the knee back in as you sit back and slide the hand back. And now let's go to the other side. Front hand reaches out, back leg straightens, toes under. I call this a staggered stance, all fours. We're moving right into our opposite arm and leg. Lift, reach. Now stretch and land and sit back. As you come forward, opposite arm and leg. Do a little reach, thumb up, leg up. We'll add back in the knee bend in the next one. Come forward. We have one more set without the knee bend. We're going to add a little bit more stretch. Extend the back arm and leg, front leg. Lift and reach, keeping the leg up. Bend the knee and reach your opposite hand back. If you can capture the ankle, this will give you a really wonderful stretch in the front of the hip and the thigh. It's also a stretch for the shoulder of the arm that's reaching back. If this is not working for you, just hold the heel up to the ceiling and the arm back, and you'll get the same stretches. Lower down, come back, and extend the opposite arm and leg out. Hover and lift, bend and reach. We're here for a few breaths, so if you can't grab the ankle, then just hold the arm back. One more to each side. Making this a nice fluid stretch and reach. Sit back and return. Opposite arm and leg. Send the leg up and the hand back. Release. Sit. Come back to center. Walk your hands back. Take the hands to your front thigh. Take the back leg forward and bring the hands to that thigh. From here, we have the knee over the ankle, going into a nice hip flexor stretch. From here, drive back Let's take the arms back as we bring the weight forward. And then as we come back, we're going to begin to straighten that front leg a little bit more. 2 more. 1 more time. This time, come back all the way, and on the knee, this is a balance challenge as it is. Sit your hips back and lift the front toes. This will be a stretch for the back of the upper leg, the hamstrings. Hinge forward and reach your arms back. Now let's move with the arms and legs 3 times. Breath in to reach forward, hip flexor stretch. Breathe out to send the hips back, chest forward, hamstring stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your spine nice and long. 1 more time. Come forward, place the hands on the thighs, tuck your toes under, and then slide up, pivot and turn, and we'll do the other side. Lower yourself down, release the top of the back foot, and then slide the hips forward, bringing the knee over the ankle. Here is the hip flexor stretch. It also might come into the lower belly a bit and along the side of the trunk. And then back. Swinging the arms forward and back for 2 more times. Now go forward. And then as you sit back, hinge at your hips and lift the front toes. Here again is that stretch for the back of the upper thigh. Leave the arms back, and now we move fluidly 4 times. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. 1 more time. Come forward, hands to the front thigh. Tuck under the toes. Come up into your lunge, and then step with your feet nice and wide. In this position, sink down into the legs and feel an inner thigh stretch. Lift up tall with your posture. Breathe in and reach your arms wide. And now take the hands behind the head. Breath in, and hands behind the back. As you rise up this time, gently allow the head to fall back into the hands as you widen the chest, feeling that stretch across the collarbone. With the feet wide like this and the legs straight, you also might feel a little stretch in the inner thighs and feeling that connection to the middle of your body. Exhale, release, bend, and reach your arms back. Now bring the hands to the thighs, straighten your legs, and step each foot in underneath your hip. We begin and end in the same position. Lift your right heel, pivot to the right as you lift your left hand, return and switch. 1 more to each side. This just finds a gentle balance to each side of the body. Soften your knees. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring the hands behind your head. Straighten the legs. Open up the chest. Soften the knees and look forward. And release the arms by your sides. And roll the shoulders back and down. 2 more times. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to moving with you again soon.